Okay, so now we move on to OverDrive. OverDrive also gives us access to the Ohio Digital Library. It's just another app that we have the option to use to get ebooks and audiobooks. OverDrive is available on all of the same app stores as Libby is. The only difference is OverDrive is available on Amazon Kindles while Libby is not. So anytime you come to OverDrive, this is likely the page you are going to see. And your first step is almost always going to be to click Add a Title. The only exception would be if you have already checked out ebooks or audiobooks and you have already downloaded them. Your titles will also appear here. I am not signed in. I don't have anything checked out at the moment, so I don't have any titles here. So we are going to get started by clicking Add a Title. So then this is essentially the home page for OverDrive. And so the first thing that we are going to need to do to sign in is come over here to where it says sign in, and then I'm just going to click on this. Now I'm just going to come up here to this drop box, and I am going to click on that, and then I am going to scroll down until I find the Carnegie Public Library, Washington Courthouse. From here, I'm going to enter my library card number or my e-card number and then my PIN, and then I'm going to click sign in. The first thing that I'm going to point out here is this navigation menu at the top of the page. So the first thing we have here is how we can explore titles within OverDrive. So we could come here, click on subjects to explore different subjects or genres. We have collections here. So this is very similar to Libby. We have eBooks, we have available now, we have new eBooks, we have popular, we have audiobooks, new audiobooks, most popular. We have these special categories over here. We also have videos and magazines. We can also explore these different subjects, or we have the search bar, which is right here. So if we knew the title of the book we wanted to read, or we liked a specific author and we wanted to look up that author, we could type that in here. And then if we keep going to the right, here we have notifications from OverDrive. Here's where we can access our shelf, and then here is our account. To explore different titles, we could also scroll through here. These categories are usually going to be the same as the ones in Libby because it is all connected to the Ohio Digital Library. So this all should look pretty familiar. We have a lot to choose from here. We have magazines, we have romance books, we have unsolved mysteries, we have books about canning, and then we've reached the bottom here. If we wanted to check something out, all we would need to do is click borrow. And then we would click borrow again. The only difference from Libby here is that to read in the OverDrive app, we do need to download the title. So I am just going to click download. And then I'm going to click keep browsing. I'll go back and show you guys how to access books once you've downloaded them, and then how to change these settings like I did in Libby. So that was an audiobook. I am also going to check out an ebook so that I can demonstrate that. So again, I'm going to click borrow and then borrow, and then I'm going to download it. And again, I'm going to click keep browsing here. Next, I'm going to demonstrate how to place a hold. So I'm going to come up here to collections, and then I'm going under ebooks, I'm going to come down to most popular. And then here we have a bunch of popular books. These all have hold lists, so I'm going to click place a hold. And then there it tells us our position on the holds list. We can see similar titles that are available now, or I could click show more like this, but I'm just going to exit out here. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to point out is the shelf in my account in OverDrive. So first I'm going to come over here to this little bookshelf icon. I'm going to click on that. And then here, this is where I can manage my loans, but I cannot come here to read my loans. So if I hadn't already downloaded my books, I could come here and then download them. But I could also come here to return them. I could also access my holds here. So if I click on holds, I can see the items that I currently have on hold. Again, I can see the number I am on the list and how many copies there are. Again, I could suspend the hold or I could cancel it. So all I would need to do is click remove. If I wanted to come up here and click my account, I can access my loans and my holds just using a different way. So I could come to my account and then I could click loans or holds. I am going to start wrapping up my OverDrive tutorial by showing you guys how to find your downloaded items as well as the different settings that you can control within eBooks and audiobooks. So we have checked out a few books, we have downloaded them. If we want to go back to read them, all we need to do is come up here to the top left-hand corner where it says the Ohio Digital Library, and we have this big arrow, and I'm just going to click on the arrow. So now we are back to this screen, which is the original screen we were on when we first opened OverDrive. So I told you guys that if you are looking for books, you want to explore, you want to check something out, you want to put something on hold, you're almost always going to want to click add a title. But if you have already checked out some books, you've downloaded them, you're reading them, they will appear right here. So here we have an audiobook and we also have an ebook. So first I am going to demonstrate the audiobook settings. So in OverDrive, after we have downloaded the title, all we need to do is click on the cover of the book. And then this is how it appears. We can see the summary of the book right here. To the right, we can see the different chapters. We have a little table of contents. And then under here, we have the audiobook settings, as well as the play button. So if we are ready to go ahead and play this audiobook, we would just need to click the play button here. Down here, we can move to the previous chapter. Right here, we can rewind the audiobook by 15 seconds. Then we can also fast forward the audiobook by 15 seconds. And we can move to the next chapter. Below that, we have this timer, just like we had in Libby. So we can set it to stop playing after 15 minutes, 30 minutes, so on and so forth. Right here, we have the playback speed. So if I wanted to decrease the speed or increase the speed that the audiobook is playing, I could do that here. Finally, I can click here to add a bookmark to my audiobook. If I was coming back later and I wanted to pick up where I left off, I would just come up here to the top right-hand corner and click bookmarks. Right now, I don't have any, but if I did, this is where they would show up. Okay, and the final thing that I am going to demonstrate in OverDrive is ebook reading settings. So the first thing that I'm going to do is come up here again to the top left-hand corner, and I'm going to click on this big arrow. So again, this takes me back to this first page that we reach in OverDrive, where we could add a title, but then also where we could see our titles that are already downloaded. So we've already gone over the audiobook, so now I'm going to come down here to my ebook. Again, I've already downloaded this, so it is good to go, so I'm just going to click on the cover, and then here we have our ebook. So just like in Libby, all we need to do to turn the pages is click to the right or left. So I could also go back a page. If I want to see my ebook settings, all I need to do is click on the center of the page, and then here I can see all of the settings that I need. So the first thing I'm going to point out is at the top of the page, we have this reads contents. So this is where I can see the table of contents for this ebook. Here is where I can see the details of this ebook. So this has like the description of the book, the publisher, and then the library it came from. And then I have bookmarks. So if I've already left a bookmark, this is where I would click to pick up where I left off. At the bottom of the page, I could click here to go to the previous chapter, and then I could click here to go to the next chapter. Right here we have our reading settings. So this is where I can control the font size, line spacing, colors, all of that stuff. So at the top here we have the font. It's currently set to default, but we could change it. We have all of these options here. Below that we have the font size. I currently have it set to largest. Below that we have line spacing. So right now it's set to medium. We could set it to larger, and then this just gives us more space between each line, which makes it a little bit easier to read. And then finally we have margins. So they're currently set to small. I could set them to medium, or I could set them to large. I'm going to take them back to small though. Below that, we have the color scheme. So this is also similar to Libby. Right now it is set to daytime. We could also change it to the nighttime setting. And again, we have the sepia one. Once we have gotten the settings how we like them, we just need to click this back arrow. And then finally, if we need to leave a bookmark in our book, all we need to do is click right here where we can see the outline of the bookmark on the page. Again, when we're all done, we just need to click on the center of the page, and then here we see this big arrow that will take us back to this home page for OverDrive. Alright guys, so that wraps up my tutorial of how to use Libby and OverDrive. I hope you found this helpful, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at kcottrell@scolibraries.org or give us a call at the library at 740-335-2540. Thanks for watching!